Hi friends, today I am going to be talking about the latest heist book that I have read, which is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Let's jump in. This was a really fun book, and I don't know if my expectations were high or low going into the story. I had just finished reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy and felt a little let down by the ending. It was a bit lackluster for me, and everyone that I know that has read any books from the Grishaverse has said that they preferred the Six of Crows duology, and I have to say I definitely agree. I think that it is a much stronger writing style, and I found that Leigh Bardugo really found her voice in this story as opposed to the first three books, but let's talk about that and jump in. We are in the city of Ketterdam, no longer in Ravka as we were in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Ketterdam is basically where the ruffians live. It's where all the casinos, the brothels, the whorehouses are, and it is a dirty, grimy place that no one really wants to be. It is called the Barrel, and it's just a grimy, grimy place. We have different POVs in this book, and we have 6 crows, but not every single one of them gets a chapter, and that's okay. But our main chapters are Jesper, who is a gun-wielding master. We have Kaz Brecker, who is the leader of the crows and the dregs. We have Inej, who is also called the Wraith. We have Nina, who is a Grisha that has fallen on hard times and has been working in Ketterdam. We have Matthias, who is a Fjordian, who is a former Grisha hunter that has been imprisoned, and we have Wylan. The story begins with not any of our crows, but from the perspective of someone that we never see again, and he gets to witness what happens when Grisha are given this drug called Jurdaparem, and it just wreaks havoc to them, and their powers get absolutely blown out of control. You come to learn very quickly that this drug is highly addictive, and the Fjordians have kidnapped the inventor of said drug and are holding him in a place called the Ice Court. The Ice Court is in the palace capital of Fjorden, and there is a 30 million Kruger, which is their money in Ketterdam, job that is offered to the crows if they can get this man and break him out of the Ice Court. The Ice Court is supposed to be the most dangerous place and impenetrable place, so the only people, of course, that could get in are this group of ragtag 17 and 18-year-olds, but other than that, it was, I thought, a believable story, and it was really fun, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Something that I liked about this book that I found we had more of in this than probably in all 3 books of the Shadow and Bone trilogy is you get more in-depth backgrounds on each of your characters. With Kaz, we come to learn, and this is going to be spoilery just as a heads up, so if you are not interested, again, probably stop listening, but if you don't care, let's jump in now. Kaz technically did not grow up in the Barrel or Ketterdam. He came there as a orphaned boy with his brother, and the main characteristic about Kaz is that he always wears these black leather gloves. We come to know that this is because his brother and he were infected with this pox of epidemic that broke out. It killed his brother. What did happen was that both of their bodies were thrown into the river, and Kaz woke up from a feverish state surrounded by corpses that were covered in these pox, and he's been terrified to touch human flesh ever since, hence he always wears these gloves. He is the mastermind of the crows. He's quite a smart character. He's intelligent, and he is nasty. I don't mean nasty in the sense that, like, oh, that's nasty. I mean nasty in the sense that he's quite unfeeling, and that's the way he has to be in order to survive. And he has assembled his crew quite meticulously and carefully. Nej is a Suli girl whose family she got separated from. She was captured by slavers, and she was sold to a whorehouse called the Menagerie. She is dealing with being indentured, and this is very much driving her in this case because if she gets her share of the money, she can pay off her indentured contract and she can be free, and her goal is to go hunt slavers. We have Nina Zenik, Grisha, who is trying to make amends with the Grisha hunter, Matthias, and their love story was kind of interesting. I actually enjoyed it, and I'm not someone who typically enjoys romance all that much in stories, so I liked this. And we have Jasper and Wylan, who are kind of teamed up as well. I really liked the dynamic between all of these characters. It was really fun. The main crux of the goal is get to the Ice Palace, get in, get this man out, live. That's the main thing. They know that a lot of them will probably not. They plan and coordinate their break-in with this annual event that takes place in Fjorda, which is where they swear in a new group of Druskel every year, and the Druskel are the witch hunters. So this is a holy order for them in Fjorda. They've coordinated it because every year when this event happens, Fjordians welcome in other peoples so they can come and witness the majesticness and grandness of the ice court and the palace. So it's easier to sneak people in and sneak people out. I don't want to give away too much of the inner workings and details because I actually really found it fun while reading it. And I just think that it's one of these books that you actually really should read. It lived up to the hype for me in many, many ways, and I really just had a ball reading it. It was one of the few books that I was thinking, I'm probably not going to love this because it's very YA from what I was assuming based on the Grisha trilogy, but honestly, I think this just was such an elevated stance on writing for Leigh Bardugo that I cannot wait to read Crooked Kingdom. I'm really genuinely excited. It should be good, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you have read the Crows duology, please let me know in the comments below. I am genuinely curious to know what you thought of them, especially if you read the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Which do you think was better? Which do you think was worse? I would love to know your favorite character from the book. Personally, my least favorite character was Inej. I don't know if that's a common thing. I found that her chapters just drew me in the least, I feel like. And that's not to say that I didn't like her character. I just wasn't as connected with her as I was with the others. And I was genuinely hoping that Wylan was going to have POVs and chapters, even though he didn't. But maybe in Crooked Kingdom, I just don't know. I don't own the book yet, but I will soon. If you would like to help support me, you can hit like and subscribe. And if you would like to come chat to me about the book, then you can find me on Instagram at FantasyAwash. And as always, I will see you next time.